R.E.Fort. Welcome back to my podcast, and this, my first episode of my Featured Tracks playlist for January 2025. Before we get to the playlist, I want to wish all a very safe, prosperous, and happy 2025. Okay, in this playlist, I wanted some upbeat tracks. So, we have Your Kiss, Make It a Double, Don't Mess With Me, Run With Me, For All the Good Times, and closing out this New Year's playlist is Why Don't You Just Let Us Play. As always, you can find links to this playlist for YouTube Music, Spotify, Pandora, iTunes, or Amazon Music in this post and on my website at R.E.Fort.co/playlist. Let's get to the playlist. Starting off this New Year's playlist is Your Kiss from my 2016 release, I'm Gonna Let It Ride. This big smooth jazz track is simply awesome. This track showcases the first time I found some horn and string sounds that I fell in love with. I used them to push the track's groove forward. On this one, I'm played by Fender Stratocaster for all the guitar work, melody, and solo. The solo on this one has some amazing string and horn hits that really drive this track. I really love this track. Let's give Your Kiss a listen. Next up is Make It a Double from my 2017 release 10. I really love the way I start this track with that cool bass guitar riff. The chords I played on my Fender Stratocaster, and I used a baby grand sound to back up those chords. I used a very cool synth sound to echo the melody I played on my Fender Acoustic Electric. This track has a cool change towards the end of the track when the guitar solo kicks in. I wanted this track to be a blend of blues with a smooth jazz groove. To me, I nailed it. This song just rocks. Let's give Make It a Double a listen. Next up is Don't Mess With Me from my 2019 release, Smooth As I Wanna Be. This track is a fusion of rock and funk. I love the bass guitar work I did on this track. That bass guitar line really drives this track, along with those gritty guitar chords I played on my Gibson SG. The lead and melody guitar work played on my Fender Stratocaster on this track is smoking hot. When I was writing this track, I wanted a little rock and a little funk. I think I really nailed it on this track. Let's give Don't Mess With Me a listen. Next up is Run With Me from my 2020 CD, Living in Strange Times. When I started writing this track, my goal was to create a conversation between the guitar and keyboards. That conversation is happening between my Fender acoustic electric guitar and the baby grand sound. There's a killer solo at the end of this track that, believe it or not, I played on my Fender acoustic electric guitar. It sounded so good I decided to leave it and not redo it using my SG or my Stratocaster. On the keyboard side, I'm using a baby grand for the melody and the solo, and a Fender Rhodes sound for the chords. This is such a cool and fun track. Let's give Run With Me a listen. Next up is For All the Good Times from my 2022 CD, Told You. I really like songs that are a conversation between instruments. In this track, that conversation is between the grand piano sound and my Gibson SG. The foundation of this track is the rhythm section, the drum programming, bass guitar work, which I really was having a blast playing, my Fender acoustic electric, and a Rhodes electric piano sound for the chords. The Gibson sounds so good against that baby grand sound. I just love this track. Let's give For All the Good Times a listen. Closing out this New Year's playlist is Why Don't You Just Let Us Play from my 2023 CD, Life on the Other Side. This track is a fun fusion track fusing funk, blues, and a little rock. I love the bass guitar line and the drum programming that opens this track. The foundation or sound canvas for this track is that rhythm section, the rhythm guitar, Fender Rhodes electric piano sound, bass guitar, staccato horns, and that awesome drum programming. I use my Gibson SG for the rhythm guitar and melody, and for the solo I use my Fender Stratocaster. I love how the solo sounds with the horns behind me at the end of this track. Let's give Why Don't You Just Let Us Play a listen. you enjoyed this episode of my Feature Tracks playlist and get a chance to listen to my full playlist on either YouTube Music, Spotify, Pandora, iTunes, or Amazon Music sites. Remember, you can find links to this playlist and those sites in this post and on my website at R.E.Fort.co/playlist. The song opening and closing this podcast is the track named So Cool from my CD 10. Thanks for listening, and as always, without music, life has no soul. Thanks.